Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Namo Namaha. My name is Ajitananda Das and I am serving in a capacity of librarian in a library of the Bhaktivedanta Academy. I was requested to speak on the topic of Varnasrama Dharma, especially in connection with educational systems established in Vedas. And I would like to say in this regard that His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada established International Society for Krishna Consciousness as cultural movement for respiritualization of the entire humanity. In this context we can see that this respiritualization of human society is going based on the scriptural injunctions or Shastra Vidya. According to scriptural injunctions, we can say that Vedic society is based and established for the performance of duties for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of God, Shri Krishna. That is the main purpose. Such a society is called Daivi Varnasrama Dharma. And in Daivi Varnasrama Dharma, each person is taking the position of a servant through his occupational duties. Usually the persons in modern society are performing their activities or duties for their own sense gratification and pleasure. But in Vedic social system or Daivi Varnasrama Dharma, we can say that these designations of Varnas are just meant for a managerial efficiency, but the persons who are performing these duties are not identified with such designations. Therefore, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Sarvopadi vinir muktam," that a person through Krishna consciousness should be purified from all material identities. But still, we can say that such a person need to perform occupational duties because of his conditionings and his lower consciousness. Also, it is important to notice that in a material society we have activities of higher and lower, but in Daivi Varnasrama Dharma, when person is performing his occupational duties for the pleasure of the Lord, then there is no question of higher or lower activities, because in Vedic social system or Daivi Varnasrama Dharma, person is performing his activities based on his consciousness or his tendency to please the Lord. Therefore, in International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we can say that we should perform our occupational duties, whatever they are, for the pleasure of the Lord, but still through our identity as eternal servants of the Lord, we need to perform them without attachment for these designations. And as a soul, we should perform these activities only for the pleasure of the Lord.
What is the role of traditional Gurukula, and why within ISKCON we have not promoted the establishment of such Gurukula?
The role of traditional Gurukula is to facilitate the progeny, is to facilitate those great personalities which are coming in our society in such a way that we will offer them education on the sensual, mental, intellectual and spiritual level. So only when we establish such education on all levels, the personality can be fully developed. The person can be fully developed. Such education must be based on scriptural injunctions. Scriptural injunctions are saying that curriculum of traditional Gurukula must be based on ashram, must be based on Chaturdarsha Vidyastan, 14 books of Vedic knowledge, must be based on specialization or Visharad. And when person is mature in his education, he is realizing his Varna to such education, and he is progressing furthermore to the higher levels of consciousness. Without such education, person cannot even realize his material identity, what to say about spiritual identity. Furthermore, we can say that to establish society based on scriptural injunctions, it is necessary to establish gurukulas, because gurukulas are foundation of society. We can see that all great societies in history created a national curriculum for development of different occupations, and in such a way society can prosper because all the needs of society are fulfilled. And it is very well known that only Vedic society can fulfill all the needs of human beings. Human beings have needs on sensual, mental, intellectual and spiritual level. So if we neglect the needs on sensual or mental or intellectual level, in one level society will suffer. So it is very well it is important to establish education on all the levels. So if in our society or international society for Krishna consciousness we don't establish such education on all levels, then certainly future generations will need to face the consequences of our neglecting such education. Therefore, it is our imperative to establish such education based on scriptural injunctions. Scriptural injunctions are giving knowledge how to establish such a society from Kama Shastra, from Niti Shastra, from Dharma Shastra, from Moksha Shastra, and finally from Bhakti Shastra. So for different levels of and layers of society, Shastra is giving different injunctions. We can say that Vedic society or Daivi Varnasrama is meant to give opportunity to living entity to progress from Annamaya to Anandamaya. And different living beings or human beings, because of their conditionings, are connected with the different Varnas. According to our consciousness, we developed our Varna. Therefore, we can say that those on level of Annamaya are connected with the Shudra Varna. Those on the Pranamaya level are connected with the Vaishya Varna. Those on Manomaya or Jnanamaya are connected with the Kshatriya Varna. And those on Vijnanamaya are connected with the Brahmana Varna. And finally, on Anandamaya level, it's only devotees, Krishna devotees, who are not under the gunas. So scriptural injunctions are giving us relevant knowledge how to establish ourselves in our realization of material identity and how to progress further on this scale. Also, we can say that those who are in Shudra Varna, they want to attain Kama in life. Those who are Vaishyas want to attain Artha, economic development. Those who are Kshatriyas, they want to attain Dharma, they're protectors of Dharma. And Brahmanas, they want to attain Moksha. And finally, Vaishyas, as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us, they want to attain Prema. And he said that this is the final goal of all society. In conclusion, we can say that according to teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, person who is practicing Krishna consciousness should practice his occupational duties without identifying with his duties of Varna or other social duties. In this way, person can be purified from all material designations, although he is still in material world, but in consciousness he always wants to please the Lord by his duties.
So one comment I was hearing that whenever we discuss about Varnashram, no, for Kali Yuga or for ISKCON there is no need of Varnashram. We follow Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu rejected Varnashram. So
Where did he reject Varnashram?
because they gave the quote as the conversation between Raya Ramananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They gave
He said, Age. He said, Age, go further, go
further.
deeper.
Go deeper. Okay.
He didn't reject it.
Okay.
That is the main point.
Yeah. So then in that context, Prabhu, furthermore, so what have you heard or realized in terms of Prabhupada teachings? Like how much Prabhupada wanted to establish such community, one ashram community within ISKCON. So what's your take on that?
What can I say? This is so long, so big topic.
Any one or two line summarization?
Yeah. Because of the lower levels of consciousness as Annamaya or Pranamaya in modern society, the first method of self-realization as Srila Prabhupada implemented is chanting the holy names of the Lord, and it is Yuga Dharma. But also it must be known that because of our conditioning we cannot chant the holy names of the Lord for the whole day or of our time. Therefore, it is very much important that when we are not performing Yuga Dharma, that we perform other dharmas based on scriptural injunctions. Therefore, Varnasrama Dharma is very important to establish proper attitude of person in his social dealings, that he doesn't do so many or any offenses to the holy name. And when the person is established in such a proper Vaishnava social dealings and interactions, then he can progress in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. This is the importance of Varnashram Dharma in connection with the Yuga Dharma.
You mentioned how it is needed with respect to Varnashrama. So, but what kind of things that are missing within ISKCON society to promote such thing? Currently we have most of our temples established in cities, the congregation is in cities. So are we ignoring certain section which Srila Prabhupada wanted in this regard? So what's your opinion on that?
We can see from Srila Prabhupada's teachings that it's very simple. Srila Prabhupada instructed us, dovetail your propensity. So each conditioned living being have propensity, material propensities. In order to liberate himself, person need to perform these propensities for the pleasure of the Lord. So each person, either in city, either in village, modern or Vedic, have some propensity and have some goal of life. In order to dovetail the same propensities in Krishna consciousness, he needs to do it for the pleasure of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada didn't want us to reject our positions. He wanted us to use our positions for the pleasure of the Lord. Therefore, person can be in city, person can be in village, but his varna must be realized, or mixed varna. So person who is living in a city, he can also be a worker, he can also be a merchant, he can also be administrator or academic. In order to purify himself, he needs to add his devotional aspect of his occupation. Then person can be liberated from such designations. Then he sees that his material designations are not so much more important, but that devotional aspect of performing these activities, it is the most important. So there should not be confusions about whether the Varnashrama should be established only in the villages or only in the cities. It should be established everywhere. In Manusmriti, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Mahabharata, other Puranas, we can see great personalities who perform their occupational duties for the pleasure of the Lord in the cities and in the villages.
Yes. So then, then one more statement I heard that Vedic lifestyle was primarily agrarian-based lifestyle. So, because even for the cities, all the supplies generally comes from villages.
Yes.
Some devotees, in fact, Maharaj gave example of Vrindavan. They take all the milk and butter and everything to Mathura and supply to the citizens there in the cities. So in that way. Any comments on that, bro?
The most of population will naturally, by lower consciousness, be designated as Shudras. Some as Vaishyas, less than Kshatriyas, and only few as Brahmanas. In order to fulfill the basic human needs, the society must be established as agrarian, because the basic human needs from the level of Annamaya is a food or Annam. Yes, and the person who are performing such activities are actually supplying the food for the whole humanity, even those in the cities. And those in the cities are actually taking care for those who are living in villages. And that is natural reciprocation among the different levels of society, social stratification. And this creates actually structural simplicity and interactional complexity. This is very important to understand. Modern society is completely different. We have structural complexity, people are not realized, the family tradition is broken, but their interactions are very simple and very low. But those persons who are realized in their Varna and those who are living in a peaceful life, like those of agrarians, are living in a mode of goodness. They naturally are more peaceful, they have more better qualities, they're more self-satisfied. And then in this way society can, from such consciousness of these personalities, can be also developed to the higher levels.
So that's primarily what we thought of asking you, bro. Thank you. And also you mentioned that you are the librarian for Mayapur Gurukul.
Yes.
So just a few words on what exactly we have in our library in Gurukul. And
this is the topic.
And your new inventions.
As the members of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we need to be conscious and aware of our great Vedic inheritance. Vedic scriptural inheritance is the richest scriptural inheritance in the world. Divisions of Vedic literatures are meant to cover all needs of society. There are Chaturvedas or 4 Vedas, Shadvedangas or 6 supplementary Vedas to understand the primary Vedas. And then there is Chaturupangas and subdivisions of Vedas, where belongs Dharma. And in Dharma we have also Niti, we have Artha, we have Kama Shastra. And these 4 Shastras are meant to establish a society and a social system in such a way that all human beings should be satisfied. And when human needs are satisfied, then person can go further in his development of consciousness, and he is not anymore worried about material needs, and he progresses nicely toward his final enlightenment in Krishna consciousness.